Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Akmal Hisham bin Samsudin. I'm going to present the introduction for our mini project. The oil palm originates from West Africa and expanded to Southeast Asia. Kushairi 2017 stated that Malaysia contributes about 30% of production and 37% of world exports, contributing to the growth of gross domestic product, or known as GDP. Palm oil meal effluent, or well known as POM, contains a high concentration of organic matter such as chemical oxygen demand, which is 50,000 mg per liter, biological oxygen demand (BOD) 30,000 mg per liter, oil and grease 6,000 mg per liter, suspended solids 59,350 mg per liter, and absolute nitrogen 750 mg per liter. Description of process flow. This is the flow diagram for our mini project. Fresh fruit bunch reception and transfer. The FFB, which is harvested from the field for processing, is transported to the mills. Next, sterilization. Sterilization is where the fruit is normally softened by heating or boiling. Next, threshing, digesting, and screw pressing. A drum, like a machine, rotates and begins to remove and separate all the fruit from the bunch. The desired fruit is then passed to the digester. Next, depericarping. The pressed cake is produced during the pressing process. Next, clarification of crude palm oil, or CPO. To extract oil from the CPO solution, the CPO enters a clarification tank that includes a rotary strainer and sludge centrifuge and is transferred back to the clarifier. Lastly, kernel separating and drying. This process allows the palm kernel to be removed from its shell. Utilization of the waste from palm oil mill. First, empty fruit bunch, EFB. Empty fruit bunch usually used as the mulch, which controls the soil erosion and will keep the soil moisture. Next, palm kernel cake, PKC. The improvement of PKC may be a positive idea for organic fertilizer. Next, palm oil meal effluent, POM. POM contains strong carotene and antioxidant that can prevent cells from free radicals. Lastly, palm fiber and shell. Palm fiber and shell can be used to synthesization for contaminant gases absorption.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm Akila Naziha and Muhammad Akmal Hisham bin Samsudin from Group 16 will present PNID tracing and identification. This separator pilot plant was designed by the company Oil and Textilian Berhad, were purchased in between years 2006 to 2007. The purpose of the separator pilot plant is to separate oil from the soap stock. The maximum operating condition of the pilot plant is 300 to 400 tons. The optimum operating condition is around 70 to 90 degrees Celsius. If the optimum condition is more than 100 Celsius, it can cause the damage to the separator. The pilot plant is not used for experiment, which is only used for an oil testing farm oil producing company like FGV Holdings Berhad, as the capacity of the pilot plant is too big for experiment, which may cause a higher cost. And then crude oil in the drum and caustic soda will flow into a neutralizer washing tank and will mix in by the agitator. After a period of time, the mixture will be released from the tank and will flow into the separator reactor. The mixture is allowed to process simultaneously with hot water, which to make sure the oil does not stuck in the pipeline. In the separator, the oil mixture are spun at 3000 rpm to segregate the soap stock from the oil. Next, the soap stock are collected in the drum and the segregate oil are further the process. The separated oil then flow into a vacuum dryer. The moisture in the oil will be extracted out of the oil. Finally, the oil will be discharged up for sampling, which to see whether there is need to repeat the process or not. If the product is as desired, it will be drained out. If not, it will flow back into the neutralizer or washing pan and repeat all the process again. Next to the equipment that involved in the separator process. First, separator reactor, which to separate the oil from the soap stock. Second, neutralizer or washing tank, which the location of the mixing process occur for the caustic soda and the oil. Third, the caustic soda tank or hot water tank, which to store the caustic soda and hot water. Soap stock tank, together the soap stock from the separator. And next, the dryer or intermediate tank, which to remove the extra moisture from the oil. And moving forward to pumps, which to accelerate the transference of the fluid from the one location to other location. And then the electrical heating equipment, flow meter, which to measure the pressure of the oil and hot water in the separator process. And then high level alarm or low level alarm, which goes off when to notify the operator if the level of the liquid is to increase or is too higher or too lower. And lastly, the control panel, which to monitor the flow, temperature, valve position, as well as the emergency shutdown in the process.
Green technology element. In this our mini project, the green technology element that contribute is catalytic distillation. Catalytic distillation is a green reactor technology that combines catalytic and separation reaction through distillation in the same distillation column. The advantages by using the catalytic distillation are it will save energy. Moreover, the effective greenhouse process for biodiesel production. And lastly, it will reduce the greenhouse gases. Entrepreneurial element. In our mini project, there is two parts for entrepreneurial element, which is consists of commercialize and costing. Commercialize. Introduce biodiesel as green product with lower greenhouse gas emission, which can improve the economics and reduce environmental waste for biodiesel manufacturing. Moreover, introduce diesel consumption for transport sector program B5, which is 5% biodiesel blend oil and diesel in stages like B20, fuel containing 20% of biodiesel, and B100, which is consists of pure biodiesel. Lastly, explore strategic move to boost palm oil prices by increasing production of biodiesel B20 and B100 in the Asian market in particular. Next, costing. Cost for process simulation software and reagents, maintenance, equipment, and supply costs. The amount of correspond to the capital investment required for the purchase of equipment, the cost of labor and materials, the cost of site preparation and buildings. Lastly, costs for removal waste of product without using chemical treatment are eco-friendly and lower. As a conclusion, this mini project was technically investigated and clarified the mechanism of the separator as well as the use of waste products derived from the production of palm oil. The equipment that involved in our mini project are separator reactor, electrolyzer, hot water tank, soap stock tank, dryer tank, pumps, electrical heating element, pipelines, high and low level alarm, and the most important thing is the control panel. Biodiesel is a green product with lower greenhouse gas emission which can improve the economics and reduce the environmental waste for biodiesel manufacturing. This is an important contribution to the improvement of new options for waste management. Therefore, potential improvements to the manufactured marketable goods that are environmentally sustainable should take into account the advantages of solid and liquid waste.